You believe that for real?
Believe what?
All the stuff you were saying about God. Is everything gonna be all right?
Honestly, I don't really know. My cousin's always like, Isaiah says, look for a sign from the Lord and everything's gonna be all right.
Who's Isaiah?
I don't know, some dude in the Bible.
That's Chloe Bailey and Quavo talking spirituality. The two co-starring in the new faith-based film, Praise This. Kennedy is here. And Kennedy, you just spoke with them and a lot of the cast.
Yes, I did, Mara. I was at the Atlanta premiere of the film from the mind of producer Will Packer, who told me why now is the right time to get your praise on. Will, talk to me about Praise This.
Yeah.
I mean, it's set in Atlanta in the world's competitive choir. Why this movie right now?
But this is a movie that whether you've been to church every Sunday or can't remember one Bible verse, the whole point of this movie is that I wanted to make it for people that have lost their way, that maybe need a little bit of a reminder to reconnect with their faith.
Mega producer Will Packer tapping into the Gen Z space with Praise This. When I joined the cast on the red carpet, it was all about that Praise Team experience. So Crystal, Praise This is set in Atlanta in the world of competitive choirs. Were you ever in the choir growing up? And if so, what was that experience like?
I was. My mother put me in the choir at age 5, and I was singing all the way until I stopped singing in the choir. Yeah, until I kind of got into college, and then I was doing my own thing.
Co-star Tristan McWilds is not only praising this moment for the movie, but also the latest addition to his family with wife Christina. Talk to me about being a girl dad. What's the best part?
Woo! It's, you know what? It's made me a softer person. Realizing, you know, even me as a man, things that I kind of, the shells that I've had to put up as a man just through my life. Yeah, you start to realize that some of that has to be taken off to cater to a girl the proper way.
Did you ever spend time in the choir when you were growing up?
My sisters and I, we were the choir.
Right.
So, you know, and my brother, can't forget Michael, because there were 6 of us, so we were the choir. And one year, we entered the Kentucky Fried Chicken Gospel Choir competition. We didn't win, but we came in like second, though. But it was like way back in the day. I don't even think they have it anymore. But we did that, though. But we did that.
The girl at the center of the film is Chloe Bailey, who stars as an up-and-coming singer who finds success through the gospel experience.
I was so excited because it has my love of music, acting, and God all in one. So I was like, ooh, this is the role for me.
A role that had her going toe-to-toe with Quavo. Not bad for Chloe, who burst on the scene as one half of the singing duo, Chloe and Halle.
We first were introduced to Chloe when she was about 15 years old, when we saw her and Halle on YouTube making incredible covers and getting Beyonce's attention. But now it's been almost a decade. She's grown up. She's become a woman.
Daily Variety's Angelique Jackson told me that Chloe is among the handful of modern-day Gen Z stars to navigate the Hollywood spotlight.
An added element, maybe even a speed bump to Chloe's success, is the idea that she's having to navigate all of this as a young Black woman. There's so much added spotlight, added critique, added pressure on her to figure it out and figure it out the right way.
While in Atlanta, Chloe joined me and the co-hosts of Black Girl Stuff to talk about the film and more. What's still on your list or on your vision board that you're like, I have to check this off in the coming years?
I really want to win an EGOT, you know, the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar,
And the Tony.
Yes. So that's like a long-term goal, but I know like if I keep my eye on the prize, that will be another one I get to.
As she strives for her EGOT goals, Chloe is also gaining praise for her album In Pieces, an album title that came about after facing a challenging time in her life. For her, the healing is in the music.
It's the mask. So when people come closer, that's when they'll see the little cracks of how we have glued ourselves back together when we've been broken down time and time again. Right. So that's why I titled the album In Pieces, because the 3 years that I took to create it, I was going through some of the hardest times in my entire life.
And she is more than good enough. Chloe knows where her strength of a woman mentality comes from, her faith.
I have always really held on tight to God because that's what's been keeping me stable. I remember when I lost a really near and dear close family member a couple years ago that really struck home, and that was the first time I ever questioned God, like, why take away someone so close to me and close in age? I didn't understand it, but as you know, time went by, I learned to accept it, and I learned that God's timing and God's plan is better than anything I could ever come up with, and no matter how much I try to control things or control life, it won't work out as well as God's plan will.